Tom Hanks has probably been the biggest name that I've worked with. Here I'm turning Tom Hanks into Fred Rogers for an Esquire magazine prop that's very important to the story. You just hear his voice somewhere in the other end of the office. It's like, oh, that's Woody from Toy Story, you know? Yeah, it was pretty surreal. I thought it was a privilege to have the opportunity to work in film, and I wanted to do my best, and so I gave it my all. I work in the art department as a graphic designer, and being part of the crew, I'm available to anybody that needs anything made graphically. The majority of everything that I make for films are logos for any businesses that might be scripted, signage, menus for restaurants, artwork that's on the walls. If we have to change the flooring to be period correct, walls, we can do wallpaper. I'll work with a construction department to make patterns for hand-painted signs. Your emails and your texts are going off around the clock. People are like having last-minute things that they forgot that they need, and you're working at like an adrenaline rate of like 100%, you know, for 12 hours a day, and then that goes on months to years. And yeah, so it's so demanding on your time. Your whole personal life basically gets set on the back burner. I was on a job when my dad had an accident. I wasn't even able to get back to see him, you know, for 2 weeks until after he passed away, you know, to be with my family, because it's like you have that commitment and you had to see it through, and there's nobody to delegate it to, you know. And yeah, I think especially after that happened, I was just, nothing else is worth, you know. A job is not worth having all those other things go to the wayside, you know? Yeah, so other things are more important. My wife Stephanie and I were both born and raised in Rockford. We moved around quite a bit and decided we wanted to come back home to Rockford. We really didn't know what we were going to do with ourselves exactly. You know, we thought we would just figure it out, and we just wanted a little time to breathe and see sort of what opportunities unfolded. And she had been working as a set decorator in the film industry. She wanted to set up shop selling vintage furniture, and so we just went for it and crossed our fingers and hoped it worked out. Now we've been open for almost a year. It's been a lot of fun to build it from the ground up and turn it into something much bigger than we really intended on doing. And she's blossomed in the process. Anything I can do to help support that, like, I'm in, you know. She's done nothing but support me in all of my creative pursuits and passions. It was a real breath of fresh air to just have some time again. I don't even have most of my days planned out anymore, which is what I wanted. I wanted to design my life to focus on what's important. One of the big motivators to moving back to Rockford was to spend more time with our parents. So every Wednesday, my mom and I get together and we make ceramics together, which is a new thing for both of us. We're just like, we're friends, you know, and so we just set that time aside every week to hang out together and just enjoy life. Working on the Tom Hanks film, Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood, that was a special film for me because it was showing what Fred Rogers gave to the world, you know, and it was love and compassion, and, you know, it was a lot of positivity. People kind of write him off as being a little bit of a joke, or just this like silly old guy, but his impact on the world was significant. I would rather live small and quietly and produce something, whether it's a little sculpture or a painting or a piece of music that made somebody feel hopeful and excited and that was positive. We need that now more than ever. We need more tenderness and more caring and compassion. That's what I want to contribute to the world.